Hello. Consider this DIY art career part like 3, 4 and the big market debrief, the big spring debrief so far. So I'm just back from a pop-up at a fashion show. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea and we will hash it out. It's the plan. I have had 2 markets in pretty quick succession and I've got another one at the end of this week. There's also the like quickening of the season, because then we've got trinket season, we've got my exhibition, we've got 3 workshops as part of that, we've got 2 different events, and then a workshop at the end of kind of mid to end of May as well. So there's a lot of work. It's coming to a peak. But on one hand, my mentor's saying it doesn't need to be complex. It doesn't need to be this multi-layered 3-page document plan. It just needs to be done and acted upon. On the other hand, I'm doing all of this action and it's kind of like that, which sucks a little bit, but I guess is part 1 of consistency, or is an opportunity for me to do part 1 of the consistency, which I haven't been historically very good at.
Show that we are truly the chosen one.
Phone died. We're on the iPad. I'm having wine while the tea cools down. It's very fitting. It's very fitting. But look at the look at the sorry, hang on. I'm gonna have to reword that. The outfit. This is the business fit. Insert videos, blah blah blah, do your usual. I don't know. Part of this is not knowing and giving it a go anyway. I'm going to check the notes I made on the train back from the event and I will let you know. It's all a very human experience. Nothing is as black and white. And the cat. Parent. The first market was a really busy market and it was great because there was a lot of people in it, which meant pretty heavy footfall. But I found it really overwhelming as a first market to be back at after not being in markets for a while, because part of my neurodivergency is that I'm extremely noise sensitive. So there was a lot going on. I was kind of, but the stimulation of everyone else setting up and talking to their other people. A lot of people who were there had friends that they were maybe at tables with, they kind of knew other traders, or they had their partner with them, they had a friend, they were sharing the table, something like that, which is a gorgeous into the kind of community and the kind of market scene in Glasgow. I think it's really easy to build a community, but it's really hard to get into a community. And I mean, I had my earplugs in the end and I kind of took my breaks. I did everything gently, but it took me so much longer to then warm up, get into the business mindset. And for me, that means presenting, talking to people, saying hi, approaching. And then Krish from The Apprentice has a really good pitch summary as serve. So the S is solve something, E is exclusivity, so it's like how limited, time limited, kind of a little bit of a push. R, your relatability, so it's like how you've experienced it. V, variety, so then who you're reaching to, how many different types of people are you reaching. And then that E of energy and excitement. So that energy and excitement bit is the bit that it takes me longer to get into when I'm overstimulated, when I'm stressed out, when I'm pissed off, when this X, Y, Z. We've been new. I've had conversations with other artist friends about this, about trading as someone who's neurodivergent, and it's one of the things that people seem to do away with very quickly and find alternatives with very quickly. But it's also one of the reasons that I set up my event, which gives me a great opportunity to segue into that. Fix the makeup. Coco and Co. So So this came from me not being able to show art anywhere, me finding difficulty trading in places, and it was one of the things that had inspired me to start my own community art exhibition. So that's an art exhibition with an open call, open to the community for the purpose of showing art, but also building a community in itself. So one of the ways I'm doing that is through the website cocoandco.co.uk. I love how cheesy that sounds, but it's really difficult to type. So we've got a year on that domain. We'll see how that develops. But a lot of the work that I'm doing is going to kind of culminate on this website. It kind of acts to serve the community and acts as a community. You've got an actual website, and within that website you've got the shop. People who join this community are invited to list their own products in the shop, and they're sold, and the shipment and usual stuff is fulfilled by me. It's the kind of stuff that I do for my own art anyway. It's also marketed with me. It's kind of, as I put myself out there, it goes out there. I think as well, we don't want to do the race thing, but it was difficult building community who understood other communities and my relation to other communities. So this one I really feel I found my people in, which was really exciting, but a lot of pressure because I want to do it right. The offering, cocoandco.co.uk, is a website, first point. It is a membership. It's a group of people, but because I really needed to speak to people who are driven, who are like so about their business, but so creative and otherworldly thinkers, because it's trying to find people who are on your wavelength, people who are like, match your vibe, but like it's true. So I want that to benefit people as well. I want there to be actual benefits to being in this community. I think there's so much, every corner of everything is oversaturated with offers, with advertising, and this is very much value. It's slow. It values you as you value it. You can sell art through the platform, you can list your own profile on the website, and as I market myself as an artist, I market the community. So it's the actual embodiment of when you kick down doors, you hold it to allow people to enter as well, which is something I have always believed in, and now it gives me a chance to be about my business. So that is the summary of Coco and Co. And while I'm still kind of formalizing, I did pass GCSE maths, I promise. While I'm still formulating that offer, the first 5 artists, and there's a couple who are kind of floating up, so there's 3 vague spaces left. I'm not gonna charge like a membership fee or anything like that. We'll maybe reevaluate the offer after 5 artists join, but this is just to kind of flesh out the platform. There's no membership fee, there's no money changes hands unless something sells, in which case it's only 10-15%, and most galleries are taking like 40. It was something that I really needed when I was starting out in the local art scene. A space where there was a little bit less pressure, an extra offer, and I wanted to join the landscape of places and people who are offering opportunities, whilst also creating some to show my own, because I am one of the artists that this serves. There's also, because it's a community focused project, the intention is to invite many people, create variety within the platform, so that those links and those networks can then start to serve each other, and then it starts to feed into each other without, just organically. And I think even the way that I market my own art, the way that I do my Instagram, the way that I do my flyers, my conversations is the hard way, but it's the way that works. So this is the kind of the legwork that I'm trying to cut out to then, because I'm doing it anyway. The way that I started my art business was by not listening when people said no, lying and saying I had grants, and then making the money back at the end of the exhibition out of sheer blessing and determination. So I want to make sure that not everybody has to completely fry their nervous system doing the first 2 years, because everybody has kind of accepted that there will just be a shit couple of years and then it will be fun. Years is a long time, especially when you're in your 20s. Like, that is a whole era of your life, several eras. And I'm really excited about it because it's something that I need. It's something that I'm creating to serve me as much as it serves other people. And I really want it to benefit me. So when it benefits me like that, it benefits other people. And it means that I can connect my development to making sure that I have a positive use to my community. And, you know, when if things start to shift, infer from that what you will. We have a community of people who are professional, who are ambitious, who are creative, who are already doing cool stuff, and have already been vetted as open to everything that community entails. It feels powerful and it feels exciting. So that's Coco and Co. We're gonna try the tea. Oh, what a shame, it's slightly too warm. The fashion show pop-up was a really slay environment to be in. I think that's the alignment with your people, is seeing this fashion, seeing the attitude, seeing how powerful everybody felt doing their individual roles. Loved it. But it's the same expectation as when people join my projects. It's, I'm running everything and people are coming in at different times going, hey, what do I do? And I'm going, leave me alone, I've got things to worry about. And people, the main focus is of course on the fashion show. So in terms of sales and legworks, that is frustrating, but that's where consistency comes in. You know, it would only be failure if there were no benefits to it. And there definitely was. I had loads of great conversations. I was in the room with people I align with. I got to see some amazing creations. And I think both of those markets, I think it's important that neither of them are taken as an L, because we've found a lesson and an experience in both of them. So for the first market, a return to the hurdles of taking part in markets, a return to the mental Olympics, a return to remind myself why it's important to really fill my cup before I go to events like this. Because then for the fashion show, when I had a day to myself, I also think it's helped me understand more about this community offering, what I actually have to offer the community other than art, but also the idea of what product do I actually have. I have art, I have original art, but a lot of people who were more successful at the markets have art as a product. So they have a personalised mug, they have a badge, they have print, and I do have prints, but not of any of the new original work I've been doing, because I'm messing around with my printer and technology scares me and I've turned it into a thing in my head. But that's something that's flagged up. But then it's art as a product. Are you an artist? Are you a business person? Can you be both? Or do you want to let me do it for you and then be an artist, send me your stuff for the website? But the visibility is also one of the key things. I think it's just by turning up, getting a name out, that will in turn snowball. And it's organic, so it is slow. I'm not paying and bribing and freebies and samples yet. Yet. It was good. We had conversations, we were visible, and that is a win. Just because the win has high effort or was high effort doesn't mean that it is not a win. Doesn't mean that I need to convince myself that it was not a win. I am bold and the universe matches my daring. I believe in my ideas and the right people will as well. I create from experience, so I always know what I'm doing. I dream of abundance and I know that I deserve it. Abundance and income come with ease and calm. I open doors, create opportunities, and bring the right people with me. I am calm and easeful, and the right people are with me. Let me know what you think. There's a couple of other thoughts and B-roll diary videos that'll be popping throughout, but this is very much the next stage and a recap and a check-in for the DIY art career, because the DIY has been heavy and it's been feet on pavement, it's been paying for trains to events and coming back late and heating up food while the cat's screaming. But I also look so slay. Like this blazer, I look so powerful. You can't even see the ass in this as well. I'm so sorry for you. I'm gonna enjoy my wine and eat my food and think if there's anything else I want to include. Poetry.